Namaste and welcome back to Grow with the J.A.N family.
मेरा नाम अंजलि है. हम अजय हैं. कैसे हैं आप?
And today, recommended to us was a commercial called Giving. And it was created for the Thai phone company. And I hear it is very heart-touching. So during this time, especially with everybody in lockdown and the coronavirus and so many hard times right now, I feel like on everybody, there's been some amazing stories coming out of these things. And I feel like this is one of those things that's just going to inspire hopefully more good stories. We did the brothers that sold their land to feed the poor in their community. Sonu Sod, who's like gave up the hotel. He was busing people back to their home, selling his stuff, just amazing.
And then the police officer that fed the person who couldn't feed herself.
J.A.N interviewed the police officer who was hand feeding the homeless lady who couldn't do it herself. These are the wonderful stories. We heard some bad things, but we love those wonderful stories. Yes, where people are coming out to help others, because at the end of the day, we're all human and everybody needs help at some time. The brothers were saying when they were growing up and starting out on their own, a lot of people from different walks of life, different religions, all helped them. And this was their time. They felt like they needed to give back to the world and their community and help others in need. And these are the kind of things that just make your heart so big and proud. So we're going to watch this commercial and see if we can get through it without a tissue. Ready?
Hopefully.
Mẹป่วยเหรอ
อย่าทำอย่างนี้อีกนะ
หมวยเกาเหลาจ๋อนั่งเลยครับนั่งเลยป๊า
He's still doing
จัดไปสั่งมาเร็วต่ออะไร
So that was really heart-wrenching to
I
see.
don't know who can watch this without crying.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of held it together a little bit better than I usually do.
I didn't hold it together at all.
No. But it was just so heart-touching to see, you know, like this guy obviously goes out of his way all the time,
Yeah.
not just this one time. You know, people come.
He was still feeding them like the noodles
30
and
years
everything.
later, you know, any homeless person that came by that they knew that he would hand them some soup, you know. And this little boy, the only reason he was stealing was to help his mom out.
Because his mom was sick.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the money to buy the stuff.
Yeah. And so he was like, wait. And then he goes and pays for the medicine, gives them the soup. And the kid takes off at first. Like, you don't really think, like, how much he appreciated it. But when you see the whole story in the end, you know he
Especially, like, the note. Like, the note is what got me when it said, like, this was paid 30 years ago with a bag of, with medicine and
a bag
of soup.
veggie soup. Yeah. So, pay it forward. These are the kinds of things that I feel like now, more than ever, people need to do. Those little things.
Yeah. Because we're all in dire need of help right now.
Yeah.
All of us are in this situation, but we can get out of it if we go together.
Yeah, if everybody comes together and helps each other any way you can. And if you're the person that needs help, that's okay too. Like the brothers, like they couldn't pay anyone back right away. And I'm sure the people that helped them didn't necessarily want payback.
Anything back.
But
Like, they don't think of that when they do it.
no, people don't want payback when they help you. They help you because that makes them feel good and they're doing something good for you. And then if you do something good for somebody else, so like the little boy, he didn't know anybody was gonna pay the medicine, and he
No.
thought his only thing to do was steal it. And when he got caught, you know, the man was like, you know, paid for it and then gave him
Plus
soup
gave him soup.
to take home to his mom.
And the man didn't think like, oh, he's going to help me later in 30 years. He's going to
Yeah.
become a doctor. He's going to become this big thing that's going to help me.
Yeah.
No, he
But-
didn't think of that. But he thought, like, what if I was in that position?
Right. Or
Like,
what if
I
it
would
was,
want someone to help me if my mother was sick. Like,
right. Or if it was his daughter, like she
Yeah.
was stealing to help him. And so, you know, 30 years later when he needs this, you know, brain
Big medicine.
medicine, and she can't pay for it because obviously their little shop doesn't make a ton of money, and when
And
they
he
have
keeps
extra
going out.
he purposely feeds like the homeless and helps these little kids that
Yeah.
need little extra. So they obviously don't have thousands of dollars to spend on this big surgery that's going to save him, but the doctor just happens to be that little boy that probably that saved his mother or saved his day.
Yeah.
So those little things that we can do for each other. Everybody's human at the end of the day. Yep, there we go again. I try to keep it together for as long as I can, right?
We can't. This ad just
The ads definitely, they know how to play the music and put
music
these
gets you.
stories together. But this stuff that really happens.
Yeah.
I've heard stories like, you know, this little boy was walking every day to school and he didn't have any food, and this one lady just she stopped and fed him one meal a day. And then they became the best of friends, and he went on to go to college and become a really great person. So these stories do happen. Like Reagan said, you know, people say they don't see heroes anymore. They can't find good people anymore, but you just have to look. We hear a lot of the bad stuff. We need more people spreading these wonderful stories of things that really do happen. People
Yeah.
really do sell their
People
home.
don't
and-
do this so they can go online and become heroes.
No.
People do this so they can actually have someone to carry on something.
Right.
To go to the next person and be like, okay, now I'm going to help you out.
Right, like Sonus, he was like, I couldn't sit back and watch all these people, you know, that couldn't get back to their homes, that didn't have jobs, that didn't have money, that didn't have food, that got run over by the train, some of them, because they couldn't get back home. Like, he was like, I can't just sit down and watch this happen. Like, he had to do something, and he had to go through a lot of red tape to get there. These are the kinds of things, if you're able to help, this is what we need. We need more people to come together. Everybody's human at the end of the day. And these stories are just amazing because they're true.
Yeah.
And it touches our heart. So, not that I want to cry a lot, but keep sending us these wonderful stories when you hear of them. This is the time where people can help out each other. You see somebody in need. So, my husband was driving home, I don't know, from work maybe, or from the store, and he saw a guy on the side of the road that was hitchhiking. And normally you don't pick up hitchhikers, but he kept seeing people pass him by, and he felt the need to pull over and pick him up. And he couldn't give him a ride to exactly where the guy wanted to go, but he kept saying he needed to go see his daughter, and, you know, he didn't have a lot of money, and so he just needed a ride. And so my husband took him actually pretty far, close to where he could get another ride from there. But on the way, he gave him money so that he would have something. Not a ton of money, but enough that would hopefully get him to maybe the next stop, and hopefully somebody else would pay it forward and help him along the way. And who knows, like, hopefully he got to go see his daughter, or you know, whatever. Hopefully good things happened, and if not, hopefully he pays it forward when he can, because he obviously couldn't at that moment in life, you know.
And, like, me and the whole family were in a car, and we were passing by, and all these people were passing by this big family that held up a sign like, we take anything, we took food and money. So we went by, and we turned around, and we went to the bank, and we got at least, like, $20 or something like that.
No, I think Daddy took more than that out.
Yeah, and we went around, and we gave them the food that we had in the car, like cereal bars and things that they could eat, and then we gave them the money that we got from the bank.
Yeah.
Because we knew people would just keep passing them by.
Not to expect them in return to come back and give us money back or anything. I hope that they made it where they were going.
Yeah.
And, you know, and hopefully better things come their way. It's just one of those things, you just have to keep doing what you can for others when you feel like you can financially. Right now we're kind of a little bit struggling.
On the brink.
Yeah, like my job is not there, you know, and my husband's job hours have been cut, and he's kind of, we're hoping things get better and things continue. So, but when we can, we like to do stuff for others, and that's kind of the message we like to send.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys liked it as much as we did.
And don't forget to subscribe.
And join the wonderful J.A.N family.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.